Okay, we're starting season 5. Guys, this is the last show of Geek Out Fridays season 5. And if you'll stay till the end, we'll tell you what we're going to next. And I think everybody on the call will really enjoy kind of the direction that we're taking this. But you got to stay till the end before we get there. And looks like we got a good sound check going on. And let's get started. Say hi to everybody.
Hi, everyone. Nice to have you on the call. Yes, don't forget to stay till the end where we can explain what's coming.
Yep. Okay. We are going to be talking about Trello. I've had a lot of people ask me, how are you managing all your projects that you're working on between Wayne and your VAs and everything else? And we're going to kind of pull back the curtain. Now, this is part of the after hours call. So if you're watching the YouTube, you may not see this. You may have to catch us later on the recording, okay? But if you're on the Zoom call, you'll be able to see everything. We've got it recorded. And we're going to be talking Trello and how to do project management and how to work with your VAs in less than 5 minutes a day using the free version of Trello. Guys, I've never paid for Trello, so they've got a really good free version that does everything that you need if you're running a small projects. Okay, I've run big projects and corporate projects. Trello, you might want to upgrade to the premium version if you're going to do that, or go to another project management software. But running personal projects with Trello is this. I haven't found anything easier. I've tried ClickUp. I've tried Basecamp. I know Google had something for a while for project management. I also use Sunset, which is my daily task planner, which is different than project management. So let's go ahead and get started. We've got a lot to cover today. And if you've never been on one of our calls, Wayne will be answering questions. And if he sees a question that was very applicable to what I'm talking about, he'll interrupt me and we'll go over the question. Otherwise, we'll answer all questions at the end of the call. So let's get started. Mastering Trello. What we're going to be talking about today is project management, simplified versions of project management. We're going to be using what we call a Kanban-style layout. The reason for a Kanban layout is it is the easiest way to visualize a project very quickly. It's not necessarily goes into the full detail, but it's quick for an overview of a project level. But I'm going to show you how I use it and how Wayne uses it. And I think you'll see that the normal structure of a project management with due dates and schedules and everything else, if you're running smaller projects, can be better used visually if you use something like a Kanban style, okay? The other thing I like about Trello is it is a mobile app as well. So I get notifications when tasks are being completed or they're being statused by my VAs. This last section here is easy VA. I discovered a little trick about a year ago, and it's so simple that I'm going to show it to you today, and you go, well, why didn't you think of this earlier? And it's how to get your VAs to give you a status every single day of what they've done and what they're accomplishing tomorrow. So I'll show you that in the live call here. Okay? And let's go on. So why use it for project management? Well, it's an organized workflow, and I'm going to keep saying visual. It is a visual organized workflow in that you can quickly look at it and know where you stand on all the different projects that you're working on. And it's easy to jump between projects. And I'll talk about projects is we define our projects by software and by other tasks that we're doing internally with our business. So software would be AI Masher, Booster Pages, RSS Masher, Masher Sites. So each of those have a position in the workspace. and they're called our boards or our projects. We collaborate back and forth. So anytime we have notes or things that we're talking about on a Zoom call, Wayne and I will use the Trello just to kind of record the notes and record any task that we have instead of writing them down. That way we can make sure that we're holding each other accountable for it. Improve time management. I put this in here because you can track progress. And if you're working with a larger company, they're probably going to have different project management software. But the free version does allow you to kind of track your progress by moving cards around in a status level. Okay. But if you need to track individual time, like your VA time or your coding team time, you're probably going to have to go to a paid level. Okay. We don't do that. We're still on the free version, and it does a pretty decent job. We keep track of time on different methods than this. And a place for notes. This is probably the most important thing if you're running solo or you're running with a small team, is you have great ideas. Where do you put them? Well, you want to record them somewhere. You need to have one centralized place online to put them. And I found Trello is probably the best place to put them because they never go away. And you can access it from your phone. So if you have a good thought, you have a task that you need to do, or a reminder you need to put in, is I use my phone for that. And it puts it into the Trello system. So just some ideas, and I'll show you more about this when we go into the live show. Okay, setting up your Trello workspace are something like our company would be Launch Ninjas. I have a workspace for my wife's projects that I'm working on. I have a workspace for our own personal life, and I have a workspace for testing things. Okay, so Launch Ninjas is our main workspace. That's where I have boards. Boards are considered my project. So I have a board for AI Masher, a board working. So you have a board for AI Masher, and we have things we're working on as one of the lists, and they fall into the list. So I know I'm going to show you all this, but I just want to kind of go over the 30,000 foot level. You just got to keep in mind boards, lists, and cards. Okay. Now, inside of a card, kind of your title of what the task is, you have a place for attachment, for zip files, media. You can put YouTube videos, or you can drop your own videos in there. And then you have a checklist. This is probably the most powerful part, is the checklist, especially if you're working with your VA or you're breaking down a task. You want to break it down to the simplest steps. And that's what I use the checklist for. So just about all my cards have some checklist. And then you have comments, and this is the communication part. You can assign team roles. So for my VA or for Wayne, if we come up with a task, we're going to say who's responsible for it. And then we'll assign that person, we'll add them to the card. Okay. You can put labels, you can put due dates on there, and you can put custom files in there. Now, this is the free version. They do have some power-ups that you can integrate with other tools for automating the entire task. And they get a little assignment to that card. I think it's the name of it. But we collaborate in real time. So my primary VA, yeah, but he gives me a status every day, and it arrives on my phone. So I know exactly what he did overnight and what he's working on tomorrow. So I can kind of follow along with him through the notes, but I can also follow along. He's the workflows that we have in ZimWriter to AI Masher to our PBN networks. And I'm going to kind of pull back the curtain in the after hours show today. Okay. These tasks. Doing time tracking or calendar integration. You can sync it with Google Calendar, I think. And guys, I don't pay for the premium version. I use it more for visual tracking of what we're doing. Okay. And I'm going to give you 3 tips to stay focused using Trello. This is how I manage my day. And if we have ideas or thoughts, this is how we focus on them. Wayne and I look at the Trello board often together on a Zoom call, but primarily I rely on, there's a lot of things that Wayne does on the programming side that I don't really know what he's doing. I know when he finishes, we normally share it on a Zoom call, but we're tracking these individual tasks inside of Trello. So I can follow along very quickly just by looking at a board. So I kind of do a status review every morning just to see where we're at on our different projects. Board hopping. And I put this in there is if you have a task or a note that you really got to get recorded right then, is go ahead and put it in Trello and then come back and reassign it to the proper board or project and the proper list within the project at a later point. Okay. But this gets it out of your mind onto the computer. Okay. And then be sure to, when you put in a task assignment, that you break it down to the smallest level of using a checklist. And I'll show you kind of what we're talking about here. Okay, so demo time. Before I get started, any questions?
No, we're looking good.
Perfect. So I'm going to hop over to the other screen and I'm going to bring over Trello. Now, guys, I hope if you see any private information, please don't share it. I'm hesitant to show you that this is I'm pulling back the curtain and showing you the live, what we work on. Okay, so Trello. You click up here, you're going to go to the home spot. And I talked about Workspace. Okay. So I've got the free version. The only thing that I can see is boards and my Kanban-style projects. Okay. So Workspaces. I talked about, this is my personal workspace. If you want to see, I've got book projects, things that I'm working on books, wellness, travel plans. This is where I put all my vacation plans, honeydews. I'm sure nobody else has a project board just for honeydew, but I've got my honeydew list in here. Then, you can go into these book projects. This is the way I keep track of it. So I went from a workspace, which is my personal workspace, to a board, which is my project. So my book projects. So anytime I have a book idea that I want to maybe expand out upon, now that we actually have a book writing tool, I'm keeping track of book ideas that I want to publish books on. So I will, I'll sit there and brainstorm, or better yet, I'll wake up at midnight and go, oh, here's a great book idea. So I'll put it on my phone and then later I'll put it in as a card. Okay. So content marketing, this is a card or a task. This is what I'm putting in there. Content marketing, and I can put a description and any activity. So this is how I would keep up with a book about content marketing. I'm going to keep it all inside this card. Anything that I have, I would put my notes in. I could even put a cover on it just to give it, something fancy. Let's just put something like that. And I use covers a lot to make the cards kind of pop or show up. And I'll show you how I'm using it inside of Launch Ninjas. So once you have the card in here, then you can say, okay, well, this is not in the right place. I want to move it. So you can move it to another board, all within my same workspace. I'm going to talk to Wayne about it. So we're going to go over to Bookmaster. And inside of Bookmaster, this is my project. I have a list. Working on now, wish list, bugs, completed, resources, beta team suggestions. These are the different lists inside of this project Bookmaster. I'm going to put it under, let's just put it under wish list. Okay. Now I can actually rank it. Do I want it, if I've got, looks like I only have 2 items in here. So I'm just going to put it up on position 1. And this is where it is inside of the list. Is it at the top of the list being number 1, or is it at the bottom of the list being number 2? Or if you got 10 items in here, it would be number 10 down here. Okay. So I'm just going to move that. So you saw it came out of my list, out of book projects, the project, out of the workspace, and I just moved it over to another workspace. So that's why just popping in your notes, you can move them around. It doesn't necessarily mean they're stuck in there. Okay, so this is Launch Ninjas. This is our project board. Okay, so this is Bookmasher. And this is the way we organize. You can change the name of these lists going across, and they just kind of go across the board here. Okay, so we have resource beta launch week. We'll be adding some stuff in here. The tasks that we're going to need for beta launch week, and we need in fact, I'll just put in here need tracking. Okay, and I'll add that card.
In fact, we could change that. We could get rid of the word beta.
Yeah, we could change that. So, and Wayne, that's a great suggestion. I want to show you launch week. Now, as I'm visually looking at this, this is the way I see it, and this is the way that Wayne sees it in the view. So I could say, Wayne, we need to move this over, and we'll put it right here, okay? Remember, I just moved that content marketing. It has an image there. It's got content marketing, and there's the card or the task. Okay? Other writing modules for this future. I guess I can show it to you. Y'all are all live here. This one we haven't really expanded on yet. Other writing modules for the future. So this is how we plan for things going into Bookmasher or into AI Masher, RSS Masher. So working on now, what are we working on right now? We're working on the 10 book writing modules for public launch. Okay. Cookbooks, coloring books, travel guides, gardening, word search, trivia, crossword. Oh, we're done with that one. So that one's done. Okay. So these, and you can move these around. So this is our checklist. Okay. Now we talk daily on book writing modules. So I know where Wayne's at on this, but if Wayne wanted to add one or change, in fact, this is coming in October. So I'm just kind of updating ours that Wayne and I have back and forth. I hadn't updated it yet. So this is just me managing 10 book writing modules. We've done 7 of the 10 there. I need to do training videos or training videos. So I've got it assigned to me. Okay. Make ad creatives for pay-per-click. And that actually is over here, but I can put it right in here. Okay. And so Wayne can look at this and go, okay, but on our Bookmaster project, these are the 2 primary things that we're working on. But Damon just added content marketing. And then we have other writing modules. We're not even concerned about this outside of when we're ready, we can move them into working now. Now, when we finish this and we finish a task, in fact, we just finished, in fact, it's on AI Masher, but we'll put it here. So the task was add open router to, we know it's Bookmasher. So that task is done. So what I can do is I can just kind of drag it, and I'm just going to put it in completed over here. Well, okay. So that's how we can move them to completed. Or I'll just put it back over here. You can always go in here and just say move. Bookmasher, I'm going to move it to completed. Okay. So you can kind of look at how we're communicating on Bookmasher, but let's look at some other projects. We'll look at AI Masher. And I know the wish list, Zapier wasn't even on here, but we just here. And we'll be talking a lot about this over the coming weeks here. But Zapier was just added, and I'm showing you this because Wayne did this so quick, he didn't even put a task card in there for us. So I'm just going to move it. It's AI Masher. We're not working on it now. It is completed. I'll just toss it over there. Okay. So all our completed projects or our completed tasks are all inside of here. Now, remember when at the earlier call is when I have a note or anything I really want to save, it's either stuck in completed or working on now, wish list, or bugs. So we do this on just about all of our projects, organizing things. This is kind of what we want to put into the project. This is what we're working on this week. And these are bugs that I run across or Wayne runs across that we need to fix. And we don't want to forget about them, so we'll put them in here. And that one's actually done. Add Stable Diffusion 3 Medium to AI image. I'll just put it over here. 4 image switcher. I think that's been fixed too.
Yeah, that's done.
Okay. So that's AI Masher, and we'll drop. You want to see a big project board. RSS Masher. In fact, I don't think we've updated the bugs. But again, you see we're currently working on these. We got a few bugs that we're fixing. Move this over. Wish list items, private blog network. We keep kind of track of this. We've got a Spamzilla login. In fact, I got a lot of probably stuff I shouldn't be showing. New integration, completed items, customer response, and to-do laters. So you can keep adding more boards. We have sales page in here, future project add-ons. So as we kind of have some ideas that product add-ons, but we can add a new list to keep things organized. This is pretty complete list. The simpler you make it, the easier it is to manage. Okay. Cache your sites, working on wish list bugs completed. You'll notice a pattern here, and to-do laters, completed newsboard mods. It was a separate one there that we added. Mashernet, this is one that we haven't even shown anybody yet what Mashernet does. It's our massive PBN network that's behind everything. Then PBN builders. Okay, so this is the board I have assigned for my VA. And we have this project here, PBN builders. So inside of it, just a couple things. The only thing you have access to is boards on the free version. Okay. On a workspace, I'm going to back up here just a little bit. On a workspace, you can have 10 boards on the free version. So I've used all 10. And if I go over here to another workspace, I've got 5 built, so I got 5 remaining. So just kind of an idea of how these are set up. So I'm going to go back into PBN builders. Okay. I have myself, Wayne, and my VA is in here. Okay. And I can add more people to the board if I wanted to. We can put power ups in there, and yeah, there's the power up and automations. This is kind of reserved for the premium, so I don't even use that. But here's some other things you can do. You can change the background cover, change the background to anything, choose colors. And I don't want to, well, I guess I can mess it up. But you can kind of customize it. You can put a background in it. Like you saw earlier, I had a background behind it with some of my personal projects. But let's go over how I'm managing my VA and the little secret I shared with you earlier. Okay. Here is what my VA is currently working on. Okay. These are different projects in here. Now, he's pulling all the VA training from my library where I saved it, and he's putting it inside of Geek Out Fridays. So you'll have a VA training course inside of your Geek Out Fridays Kajabi course. He was building some crosswords. I kind of put him on hold on that. But this is a little project, and you'll notice I'm using images just to kind of keep me visually so I can keep track of it. He's statuses me every day, and this is just, please status me on one yesterday. Submitted to AI Masher home office setups, cat furniture, created 2 media packs. These are the last 2. Okay. So every day I'm getting a status. This comes across on my mobile phone. So when I wake up in the morning, I can see exactly what he did yesterday. He transferred season 2 and 1. And I know this doesn't mean anything to y'all, but these are things that he's doing for me that gives me an idea of where he's at inside the Trello board. Okay. So I have an SEO Neo project. This is the big project that he was working on. It's taken him 4 weeks to do it. And here's how I managed it. Basically, I gave it a name, put a little cover up here, assigned him, and I put in here that I'm watching this so that anything he does inside of this card notifies me as well through my phone and through the desktop app. Okay. So I give him a description and I include a link to, this is a Tango that I did. And it's like layer path. It's an instruction step-by-step of how to do something. Also put in here some JPEGs in here. I've got some videos that he's been watching. So this is all the resources he needs to complete this SEO Neo project. But here's the important thing. I've got 300 in here. And each niche, I've asked him to do, followed my steps here. He created the articles. He used search intent focus inside AI Master. So I've thoroughly detailed what I wanted him to do. Plus, I gave him a video showing him exactly what I wanted him to do. And then I gave him a list. So he's been working on this list. I didn't talk to my VA for probably 3 weeks. He's just been working off this list. He knows exactly what to do. And one thing about using VAs is once they're familiar with these. So I could tell he's checking these off. I get notified on my phone. Plus he gives me a status every day of which ones he's working. So you can see there's 300 of them in here. And then I put in notes. So here's the training. Even the link packs, the Geek Out Fridays. Guys, a lot of these Geek Out Fridays are made so he can watch it too. And I've got another VA coming online, so they can watch all the different Geek Out Fridays plus specific VA training that we have. So you can see this is, if there's any questions at all, I'll do a screenshot, I'll do a layer path, or I'll do a video. So this is just how I define the project itself, or the task itself, was to do SEO Neo projects. Inside this task was 300 niches that he had to do for me, okay? But he statused me under this card. So this card is one that I get every day. He just gives me a status. So every time he makes a comment, it flows through to me. So as he's working, go ahead.
Sorry, we've got a question about the VA training. How much is it? And have we sold it?
We'll talk about that at the end.
Excellent.
Because I think you'll be happy with this. So these are the different projects. And I have coloring books. So with start on coloring books, activity, and I've given him specific titles. So all the coloring books he's built for me. I even got different images, word searches in there. And he's pointed out things to me that we needed to fix. So this is a great way to communicate with somebody on a completely different time zone. So I know what I need to respond every day. So this is a project, a task that he's working on. And actually this one I think is completed. And then PBN article creation. And I'm not going to show that because it has too much detail of what we do. But you can kind of see these are projects as he's working on them. He'll status me. And this one, actually, I'll just move to completed because he's already done those. And these are fill-in projects. Now, the way that I manage a VA is I don't worry about what he's working on. I've worked with him for almost 3 years now. And he knows when he finishes this column of Trello, he works on this column of Trello. So finish WordPress site builds, I've got a list. I've got 21 sites that he's doing some extra work on, these WordPress sites. And I've put a little clever little image in here so he knows this is, he needs to finish this when he finishes this column right here. Okay. And then I have one here. This is another fill-in project, listicle. So if he finishes this one, he'll drop down to this one. Notice their top priority is at the very top. If I wanted to switch priorities, I just switch them. Okay. So I know really quickly he is working on this. He statuses me. And then if he's finished with this, he starts working SEO projects. But I know he's got all 300 done. So I get to move that over there. Starting coloring books, I know he's done on coloring books. So I know he's working on these two projects. These are the fill-ins. Okay. As I have something come up and I want him to work on, but it's not high priority, and I don't even have the training done yet, I'm going to stick it right over here. So he is going to be doing some book promo. I'll just put in here ads. I know what I'm talking about. For him, this is just a quick note for me. So he doesn't go over here, but this is kind of a reserved spot for me to put in future projects for him. Now, I can manage the entire, I know exactly where he stands. He's working on this. He statuses me every day. This is his fill-in, and these are completed. And I know this gives me a very good idea on a very quick glance what our VA is working on, is done, is about to run out of work. So I can kind of manage them like this. Wayne, any questions?
Yeah, people are asking about the VA training. If you wait till the end, we'll explain what's going on with that.
Yep. Okay. So we got some future projects that we're working on. Well, we got AI Indexer. We need to get booster pages. We're doing some things with booster pages and AI Indexer. AI Indexer is a neat product that we're working on that's set it and forget it type deal. You may have bought into the beta. It works. We're using some other tools integrated in with it, but it's kind of behind the scenes. You don't even know about it. But again, working on now, bugs, additions, wish list, beta launch week, and then completed. Okay. You've seen AI Masher and VidPenguin 2. We've kind of worked through VidPenguin 2. There's not a lot of working tasks. Yeah, just little things that we're working on. But this is how we manage. I know it's very simple, and hopefully you're not going, well, Damon, you're not really showing us anything. Well, it's all inside of the cards. And I go back to Masher sites. No, let's go into AI Masher. This is an Xmine. So you can kind of see we spent a lot of time one day fully mapping out everything that we could possibly ever imagine on AI Masher that we wanted. The way that we think is in terms visually is we use a mind map. Okay. We don't necessarily have to put it all inside of Trello, but we do have to record where everything's at. So I use this as a placeholder that whenever we're saying, well, what else do we want to put on AI Masher? Well, we mapped it completely out. We have a full-blown, I think I've got it in here. Yeah, this is the way we think. This is the way every single project is planned out. We're going to replace Article Forge. And you can see these are steps that we're building both in what we're trying to accomplish. And I mean, you can see the work that goes into this is all inside of here, but we keep track of it. We have a link back to where the original plans were. Okay. Wish list. So you can kind of see we have a lot of communication through Zoom, but we are tracking everything between these two. And we keep notes in here. You see notes are up here. We're building an API writer and rewriter model using Koala. And we've got some other rewriting modules that we're working on with this. So anyway, this is our company, our workspace. And I'm going to drop into, this is my test site. Okay. So I'm in a workspace that is just called website building. Okay. Now I only have one board in here, but let's say that we're going to build a new board. We're going to start from scratch. So I'm showing you the exact steps that we're going to start on our project. And we're going to call the project, this is actually a calendar masher. Website. Okay, so the workspace is going to be website building, just kind of for right now. Visibility, workspace, and create. Okay, so my list, working on. I'm going to add the list, and then I'm going to put in here a wish list. And I'll put in here bugs.
Jill asks, how many boards can you have inside a project?
Boards inside of a workspace. You can, on the free version, you can have 10.
And then how many cards inside each one? As many as you like.
Unlimited. Yep.
I thought so, yeah.
Unlimited list, unlimited card. This is why we like using the free version. So there's completed. Okay. So right now we have completely set up a brand new project to build calendar masher. Then I'm going to say in here, mind map. Okay. This is going to keep track of the original plan that we had for building out calendar masher. Wayne and I have had a lot of conversation back and forth what we're going to do, but we're going to have to spend about 3 hours putting together an Xmind mind map. And then I'll put the link to it right in here. Working on now, here's some things. Grab a domain. And another one, branding. And I put in here short things because this is, Wayne and I have built so many projects that we don't need to say branding, design, colors, logo, headlines, etc. I don't need to say all. I know what branding is. Wayne knows. So I will break that branding down by task list. Branding. I'll just put domain. That's pretty self-explanatory. I don't need that. But branding, I'll come in here and go, let's build a checklist. And I'll just leave it. You can rename the title if you want. Branding. Colors. In fact, I'm just going to use Mojo Mac. Brand name, logo with lettering and everything. Favicons. So now I've broken down branding, and I'm going to assign it to me. I'm going to be the builder on it. And I need Mojo Max is the software that I use. So once I build that, I'll put in the attachments in here. So I will attach the logo. I'll attach any color schemes that we have. And I'll even put in the fonts that we're using in the favicons. This builds the complete brand when I check them all off. And I know this is very simplified, but this is the way that we build projects out. And by doing this is we can kind of hold each other accountable. I can, as we talk about, Wayne and I talk about the calendar masher, is he can, he'll know the status where we're at on branding, on coding. We'll put in different things. We'll put in notes in here, but it's very easy to communicate back and forth. Wayne is part of my group, so I'm just going to send it to Wayne. And add. Okay. Inside the workspace is website building, and I could call it anything in here. It could be future projects. And then inside of that, I have my actual project. which is Calendar Masher. This is a product, hopefully it's going to be out in October, but it's something brand new that everybody will probably want. And we're going to make it, we're going to do a special offer on that to everybody inside Book Masher and AI Masher. But this is how we build out our own projects. And as we finish them, we just move it over to completed. Okay. And if you were hoping to see a very complex project management style, we don't use it. We have a lot of Zoom calls back and forth, but we keep track of everything inside of Trello like this. Any questions?
What's Calendar Masher?
What if you could go to a software and say, I want a 2025 calendar on panda bears? And the software, within about probably 3 minutes, oh no, it's probably maybe 10 minutes, it gives you 12 months of pages. So you have a page that has calendar for January. Then you flip the page and you have a February panda, the panda of the month club. So you have, we had the option when we make these to give you the option of having 4 different ones you can choose from for each month. So you go in and choose, you go, oh, I don't like any 4. You can regenerate and get the little featured image in there. But it builds you a calendar. Why do you need a calendar? Well, if you have clients, if you have customers that you can sell the calendar to, or you can do a calendar for them with branding logos on top of it. So it could be a restaurant, or it could be a plumber that you're doing work for, is build them a calendar. This is a loss. It's not a loss leader, but it is another source of revenue for you, that you can sell calendars that you can make in 10, 15 minutes. And you could, as you put them into Canva has a print shop. Canva will print your calendars for you. We're also going to put in some other places where you can get mass amounts of calendars. If you want to do, 500 calendars, it's not cost effective to use Canva. You would want to use a print shop for it. That's what our goal is to build this out. But we've got 3 other projects that take higher priority. But I'm hoping that we have this out. If you don't see it by the end of October, you'll see it a year from now. But it's a project that, it's kind of fun for us to do. And we're using tools that we've already built inside of Book Masher. So if we can copy some of the tools down from Book Masher and AI Masher and make a product, and we're actually putting it on AppSumo, but y'all will get the discounted price whenever we do sell it. But it gives you the ability to make calendars. That's the cool thing about it, is our tools are adaptable to this. And anyway, that's what it's all about. But Wayne and I have done enough projects together that we can kind of shorthand note this. And then the biggest time is the mind map. Y'all have heard the 60-second elevator pitch about Calendar Masher. So we'll take that and we'll build a complete mind map of all the little details and things that we need to do. And then we'll save it here, so I have a link straight into mind maps. Does that answer the question?
Yeah. And it's also a tool for us to sell Book Masher.
Yep. Because at the bottom of the calendar maker is going to be ads for our other products, our money sites. And we'll do paid ads, and we'll do organics and everything else into this. So it's exciting for us, because if we can pull it off, and between Wayne and his coder, they're pretty clever at doing stuff like this. And it's going to take some AI, but a lot of it is just coding. And then we've got our graphic engine that now has Flux and SD3 Medium in there that does an incredible job. And we're going to be integrating ideograph and some of the other tools. And so if you wanted a calendar with a picture of, cartoon characters talking to each other, you would maybe use ideograph. So it's kind of neat. I mean, I'm excited about it. I have a lot of calendar ideas.
So somebody wanted to know what the image is on the calendar masher background.
This image here,
Yeah, it looks like a C.
it looks like there's a lot of maybe a residential area. It's all kind of in a circle. I don't know if we could ever figure out what that is.
It's just a default background that was in Trello.
Yeah, yeah. But you can change the background. This is how easy it is to change the background. And by Jeremy Bishop, I don't know what. I guess you could look and see, but so you have a lot of options, or you can. I think you can actually maybe. Yeah, you could put a custom background in there if you wanted. And again, you can change the colors. Maybe.
And that's I've got Trello open in a browser on my other screen, and it's as soon as he's changing it, it changes on mine as well. It's instant.
Yep. I mean, to me, this is the best way to communicate. Let's change the background. I'll just put an image in there. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Add selected. So Wayne just accepted my invite, and I just pushed him into that workspace. So let's go back into that workspace, and you can see boards. Back in calendar masher. Now you see Wayne and I in there. Okay, and this kind of points out who the admin is on it. You can do filter cards. In fact, let's go over Ninja, and I'll do a filter, and we're going to look for. So it's looking for a card with blog in the name of the card itself.
And Jill asks, can you add people that you collaborate with that can only see certain lists?
Yes.
Like cards.
Yes. So I added on the workspace level. Let me rephrase that. I added on the workspace level Wayne and Noel, but I can have a board. I think the board is the lowest on the free version.
Go back to the website one.
Yeah, go back to that one. Space, website building. So I can put in somebody in here, create this board with the link, or share this board with the link. So I could give y'all all links by creating the link and then sharing it in a Zoom call, and you can join this particular board. But you have to be a member of the board before you can assign them to add to a member that's already been accepted into a board. So all these are board members right here. So if everybody on the call signed in, there would be 30 or 40 different board members, and I can assign them to the card. But I can't just share this to a random person. They have to be part of the board.
So everybody that's in the workspace can see all the boards.
Well, I'm actually sharing this. So I could have on the workspace I can share the workspace in its entirety. Like this one right here has 2 boards.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I go to just the workspace level, I can share it. But this is on individual boards, like right here. Wayne and Noel are not in this individual board.
Okay. The question is, I think, is can you only share, like, they can be in the board, but they can only see one of the lists?
No.
I don't think you can you?
No, not on the free version.
No.
I know what you're asking is right.
Like if you added me to this, could you like, let's say you added Noel to Calendar Mash, but we only want him to see bugs.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't do that on the free version.
Okay.
So anybody you bring on the board will see exactly what we have here. In fact, Wayne, can you move one of the lists around? Just switch wish list and bugs so you can see. So even when anybody on the hopefully, I mean, if it's an employee or a VA, I mean, you trust them enough to be in a board. But if you'll notice in this board here, I'm the only one that sees this. Wayne doesn't see it except for right now.
Yeah, I can't see that.
Okay. If I go up here to workspace, I'm the only one in this workspace. So I can keep track of all this. So, you know, book projects that just you use. So yeah, and that's the cool thing about all these boards. But Wayne doesn't care what my honeydews are or my book, you know, writing or anything.
I don't even know what that means.
Honey do this, honey do that. Maybe it's just an American thing.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell mine that we've got one of those. She'll say, "Oh, you can create a list for me."
Yeah, I don't let my wife know that I keep track of honeydew.
That's funny.
Because she would be adding to it all day long.
Oh no, don't give her permission to the board.
Yep.
Else you'll be bored.
Yep. So anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed this call.
Can you use a board to collect photos from a client?
Wayne, let's go. I'm glad you asked that question. Let's go back here. Can you upload image to Calendar Masher?
Where do you want me to put it?
Just put it in mind map or on the wish list. And you can add multiple images inside that card. And he probably put it in under cover. No, he put it in as an attachment. So it's always going to show your first attachment. So add another image in there if you don't mind. But you can see in this is it counts it as a comment and also as an attachment. So if he adds a second image, it should show 2 right here.
To the same comment?
Yeah. But you don't have to put it on the same comment. You can just do a new attachment.
Let's see what we got. Let's have a look.
And at the same time he's doing that, I could come over here and go and choose a file. And we'll put it, it'll come out. We got 3 attachments now, 2 comments. You can open it up and there's an image from Wayne. There's that image. And I attached it, but I didn't show a comment. So I'm just going to do a comment right here. Upload from your computer. It's just, so this is, I upload images and screenshots all the time to my VA and any other files if you need some documents or even zip files. You can put zip files in there and PDFs. So very easy to do. Now, where might you use this? Okay, Calendar Masher. Let's go back over to websites to build, and let's say, and on this case here is these are client websites that I'm building, and some of them are mine. But I have a template that I started with. In fact, let's see. Okay, there it is right there. Fresh celebrities is a good template. Oh, here it is. Step-by-step, done-for-you site builder's template. When I'm doing a done-for-you site, WordPress or Masher sites, is I start with a template of checklist items. So you're seeing exactly what I'm doing here to build a site. And let's say list actions. I'm going to copy this list and I'm going to call it example site.com. So I'm kind of organizing this a little bit differently. But now I'm going to just move this to the very front as I'm working on sites and go, okay, I'm building sample site. And this is the priority that I work on, add domain name and let's encrypt. Okay, here's my checklist. Add domain name to host, change DNS, let's encrypt, turn on enforce, verify incognito window. When I go check, 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 I'm done with this task card installation. I need to install WordPress. This is kind of simple enough. I know what that is. Plugins. Now, because I use different plugins, but these are the core ones that I use: Smosh, Yoast, WordFence. I don't use Yoast anymore. So I would probably just take that one out. I'll just delete that. But here's the cool thing is Updraft, Google Analytics, Management. If I want to make this into a card itself, I just convert it to a card. So it takes it out of the checklist and gives me a card. So it put it down at the very bottom, probably. Yep, Google Analytics dashboard. Okay. So by doing this is I have mapped out how I build website for a client. I don't forget anything. I know that I have to put all these plugins in, install, and once I'm done, this task card is done and I can move it to completed, or I can just archive it. Bonus plugins, theme installation checklist. I mean, y'all are getting to see exactly what a website designer does. They just have them in different formats. But this is about 20 years worth of work all compiled into a checklist. I'm building run plugin wizards, 20 plus original articles. Okay. So this tells me I need Zimwriter, or I need, more importantly, AI Masher, Koala articles, whatever I'm going to start with. I'm going to start with 20. Okay. Waiting on client for AdSense approval. So you can change the color of the card if you want to make it a priority, give it a different color or a different image. You know, I put in here is other sites sold sites to reverse engineer. These are ones that I saw sell, and I thought, you know, this one, I don't know how much this one sold for, $21,000. So I copied it. I'm like, I want to see what this site did that we can kind of reverse engineer. So anyway, you were seeing a free version of Trello that, you know, I've got 30 plus years building businesses, and Wayne has almost that much in coding and building businesses. And we are using a free tool that is so simple to use that we kind of abandoned all the other project management tools that we're using. So hopefully this helps. I'm excited to share it for you, but I hope you're not disappointed in saying, well, Damon, this doesn't have a bunch of Venn diagrams and line flows, and you know, it's not complicated.
There's one more question. Does Trello have any scheduling tools?
Yes. Try Trello Premium, start free trial. Get unlimited boards, all the views, unlimited automation, and more. This is a scheduling tool. You can use it for any type of large project management to do scheduling inside of there. There are due dates that you can put in on the free version. Let's see if I can WordPress installation, start date, due date, and set due date, a reminder. So let's say we need to have that by the 20th, one day before I want a reminder. Hit save. Okay, so we have a due date set. I'm watching it. And I mentioned something about labels. Of course, I'm going to assign it to me. And labels. So these are labels that you can assign, like a green label. What does the green label mean? And maybe just current project. Now hit save. And that's what I'm currently working on. So maybe my color scheme is I want all green labels. I'll be working on those. But I come down here to maybe Google account configs. I need to get information from the customer about his Google account and get added as an assistant on it. So I need to put in here waiting for others. Okay. So now I've color coded these. These are ones that this is the one I'm working on. This is the one I'm waiting on the customer. So visually, I have a very quick visual to know I'm working on this one. This one's over to completed. And maybe I don't want to leave. I'll just move that to the top priority and show. I may leave this as completed So I know where I'm at on the site build. You don't necessarily have to move it to completed. Plugins installed. I'm waiting on customer here. Maybe you have another status in here that's waiting for AdSense approval. Okay. And you can create new labels. They haven't enabled colorblind. I don't know what that is. So this kind of just visually helps you understand where you're at. And, it's pretty easy to use. Other questions?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, cool. Okay, what we wanted to share with you is, and I'm going to leave it recording, I'm going to cut it off for YouTube. We are changing the focus of Geek Out Fridays. Is over the last 6 months, well, probably the last, 6 months, is most of the calls prior to that had something to do with AI Masher, RSS Masher. They were training, kind of how to use features. We're still going to do that. We're still going to have a bi-weekly show, but the free version of Geek Out Fridays is ending. The reason is we've put a lot of time into Geek Out Fridays, especially me. We'll buy software. I will spend a couple of days learning the software. And then I'll make a PowerPoint slideshow, and then I'll do some graphics with it. And I'll actually, it may be something that goes into our workflow. Well, we're going to have a Mastermind club. And basically, it's going to be what you have with Geek Out Fridays, including the after hours party. We're still going to record it, but here's what we're going to do. About midway through, when we were doing the GAM show, we did demo time, and I did a short demo of what Trello is, and then at the end, I've said this is where the free show ends. So we're still going to have a free show, but it's not going to be live. We will take this first 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and we're going to save it as a YouTube video. Okay. But when I started showing you everything that we did with Trello, that is not going to be included in the YouTube version. At the end of the YouTube version, will be a little call to action. Hey, if you want to join our Geek Out Fridays club, then you're welcome to, and it's $27 a month. Okay. So we're still going to have 2 bi-weekly shows every other Friday. They're going to be live if you're a member of the Mastermind Club. We're also going to be adding an expert interview series in with it. Once a month, I'm going to interview an expert. I've got dozens of guys lined up for this, and they're going to show their tool. They're going to show kind of maybe a strategy of how to use their tool. And that will be also included. We're also going to include all the VA training. And right now, I think we got 2 or 3 in there, but that will be included in the Geek Out Fridays Club. And as long as you're part of the mastermind, you get all the videos, all the recordings, you get invited to the live shows. We also are going to take all of the archived, the 5 seasons that you're watching. This is the last of the Geek Out Friday season 5. Okay. They're all going to be inside the Mastermind Club. So you're going to have a resource of all the old videos in there, all the VA training, expert interviews, and these bi-weekly. We will still do occasional. In fact, we'll probably 1 out of the 2 each month is probably going to be about one of our tools and strategies that we're using. We're going to be doing some, I know next call is going to be a Zapier call. How to do some cool things with Zapier and AI Masher. But we're going to be doing more tool reviews. And that's why I've been kind of polling people in the different groups is, what do you want to see? What do you want to see us do? I have been very heavily different webinar packages to use. I have Webinar Jam and every webinar, and they're pieces of crap as far as I'm concerned, as far as the recording quality and when you bring on guest interviews, the background, it's kind of weird. We checked into StreamYard. We checked into probably 3 or 4 other ones. And we just weren't satisfied with the recording quality that we get, especially doing headshots. And so we're going to stick with Zoom, but we may add some additional bells and whistles inside of Zoom to help you out. Okay. So we're focused on delivering. Each show is going to be a standalone show that you can do something with. Like today is at the end of the call, or right now, you can hop onto Trello and you can start building projects. And you can start, take one workspace and put your different projects in there and start building them out. That's what our goal is, that we started with Geek Out Fridays, is give you something every other Friday that you can implement into your own business, whether it's automation, content marketing, or project management like this, or maybe it's even things you never even thought of. It's, some software tools that you didn't even know you needed. And I plan on, there's 2 of them that I want to show you this fall that are really cool. So this one ends today. This one begins Friday, September 27th. And this is first live shows the 27th. You can get the live show, the private after-hours show that you're watching right now, expert interviews, VA training, and the Geek Out Friday archive. You just click join the Mastermind, and it's $27 a month. You can quit at any time you want if you feel like you're not getting full value for it. Well, address, card, and you even had Google Pay, PayPal. But we're going to be giving you some stuff too. Help you. In fact, this is not working. Okay. Escape. I'm using a product called Gamma. This is a presentation software. I want to show you exactly how I use this presentation software to put everything together. But I use tools throughout the day that I think would benefit you. And I want to give you the ability to jump past all the hurdles of learning it, and I'll show you exactly how we're using it. And that's the takeaway that you should have from this, is we're turning Geek Out Friday individual applications that you don't have to watch 12 videos. You watch one Geek Out Friday and you'll know this tool. So anyway, questions that we can answer. I'll hop back over to Geek Out Friday. And the first show is going to be the 27th. We'll save all the shows in there. And I'll just go back here.
Also, there's going to be some of the calls are going to be, what the kind of things that we really like do to make money, and they won't even go on YouTube.
Yeah.
But you'll get access to those.
Yep. Yeah, that's the other thing is there's going to be things on YouTube, there's that we have traditionally shared everything straight over to YouTube. We're stopping that. We're going to show the strategy. We're going to show a demo, and then it ends with call to action to go to the Mastermind. We want to give you the best of the best, and that's why we're doing this. And we still will do some Zimwriter training, and there will, Wayne and I are still going to be doing videos, and we'll be popping videos up, but they're not going to be associated necessarily with Geek Out Fridays. But with Geek Out Fridays, it's a Mastermind automation club. So hopefully we invite you to join. If this is not your cup of tea, you don't want another monthly fee, I can completely understand. And you can catch the strategy and the demo on YouTube whenever we eventually get it posted up there.
I'm just going to do a shout out to Ray, who said, I think the value is obvious, and he's signing up right now.
Good.
So cheers. Thanks, Ray. You appreciate what we do.
Yep. Yeah, and we'll, over the time, we'll have some bonuses. But I want to also remind you, when we bring on expert interviews, these will not be, part of it may be posted on Geek Out YouTube. Experts, when we bring them in, they're going to show us their product. They always will give us a discount. Always. I will force them to give us a a better discount than they give anybody else to be on a expert interview show. So keep that in mind. You'll probably have enough discounts to more than pay for everything in there. But.
Yeah, Walt's already preempted something as well. He says, continue doing, shall I share my screen with Wayne? We will be doing that, and the videos will be in Geek Out Fridays.
Yep. That's a neat little feature too, is we can put whatever we want in this mastermind club. But what I'm promising you this is bare minimum, you're going to get 2 bi-weekly shows and an expert show. The expert shows will start in October, but I'm also putting in the VA training in there. So that's the minimum. But over time, we're going to be putting some bonus training in there. And, it's just kind of, it's a great way. We don't make a lot of money at $27 a month, but it's a great way for us to kind of privatize information that we're giving out, if that makes sense. Wayne, any questions?
What's the URL to sign up? GeekOutFridays.com.
Yep. So pretty easy. You're going to drop that in the chat.
Yep.
So, you might have seen this before. I've modified this a lot. In fact, a few of y'all, there's Walt right there. Actual introductory price. Now, as we fill this up, our goal is to get 100 members in there before we start on September 27th. Okay. After that, we may raise the price to 47 or 97 a month.
Walt's already said it's worth 47.
Yep.
Cheers, Walt.
But y'all are seeing it live. Oh, come September 27th, when we start producing content for it, like I said, it may go up in price. This is an introductory price. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Sign up, show up, and implement what we teach you. And I think you're going to be very happy with especially like this Trello. If you're not using some type of project management tool like this, you need to start. And it's the reason for Trello and why I wanted to show it to you is it's so easy to use, and visually it makes management of your projects super easy to do. And as you saw, Calendar Masher, you watched over my shoulder as we built the framework of how we're going to manage a project. And this project right here, even on AppSumo, is probably a $20,000 project, if not more, when we go on AppSumo with it. That's why we really want to get it done before end of October. But this is how we build projects, and we manage them this way. So, guys, if there's no other questions, we're going to hop off the call.
Yeah, I think that's it. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you for joining us today, and hope you join up with us on the Mastermind Club. And if not, no problems. You can catch the abbreviated version on YouTube. So we'll see you on another video. Bye-bye.
Bye.